When a country currency weaken or depreciate, it's almost always due to something that the government did or did not do. But the government itself would then find it hard to fix the problem it created in the first place. Curious? Stay a while and listen. First, you must understand the Forex market is the biggest financial market in the world. And most trades in the Forex markets are speculative trades, which means that the sentiment and the momentum can play a big role in the market activity. Even if the fundamentals do not make sense, a particular currency can continue rising or falling if Forex traders and governments perceive things that it must or it should. Now, let's take an hypothetical example. If Forex traders think Malaysia economy is too weak due to large current account deficit, due to high inflation caused by, say, abolished subsidies and high government debts, bearish Forex speculators could get rid of their ringgit in a fast and furious manner. This sudden plunge in ringgit demand can crash ringgit value. Or you could be a one-man institutional speculator or investor like George Soros. Soros' bravest, most notorious forex trade occurred in 1992 when he bet against the British pound. At the time, the United Kingdom was part of the European Exchange Rate Mechanism (ERM), a counter-trade intervention system designed to stabilize exchange rates among European currencies by preventing their currency from fluctuating more than 6% in either direction. Now, back then, this was like the early stage of currency unification in Europe before Euro was officially introduced. The problem was that UK inflation rate and interest rate were too high. Its economic boom was deep into a period of unsustainable growth. This set the stage for a bust period. Soros believed that the British pound was overvalued and that the Bank of England would be unable to maintain its fixed exchange rate with the German currency. He bet that the British pound sterling will get devalued. With this belief, Soros' quantum fund took a massive short position on the pound, more than 10 billion. To counter forex speculators of the British pound, UK government approved a budget of billions in pounds. It also hiked interest rates from 10% to 15% overnight to jack up demand for British pound globally and to counter short sellers. But most forex speculators did not buy because they did not believe the UK government would succeed in its attempts to prop up the pound. They continued shorting the pound. UK was ultimately forced to withdraw from the ERM to let the free forces of the forex market dictate pound sterling exchange rate to a much lower value. Now, this incident reportedly earned Soros short positions over $1 billion in profit. It is now known as the Black Wednesday, as the Bank of England lacked the dry powder to defend against this currency attack. A recession soon followed. In short, UK government policy U-turn cost their own currency dearly. See, you can throw all the economic fundamentals out the window. Now, secondly, when the government decides to spend more money than it is able to earn or collect via taxes, it will go into a deficit. This can force the government to borrow money externally, possibly owing other countries a lot of money. Any countries with high amount of debt are less attractive to foreign investors due to a chance of default, which the government unable to pay the installments or the principal of their bonds. When investors smell signs of trouble, they will pull their money out, and this can crash the currency value. Now, this happened to India in 2018. Although country with its currency as the world reserve currency like USD is an exception to this phenomenon. So you see, it is the government's fault here, but it will find it very hard to fix the problem it created in the first place. Third, when a country goes into current account deficit, it means that it's spending more money than it's earning in foreign trade. This happens when there's less demand for the goods or services a country exports or produces. Now, to make up for this deficit, a country may borrow capital from external sources like other countries such as US to cover this deficit. This is also a red flag for investors who lose confidence and pull out money from the country, which in turn cause domestic currency to depreciate. Now, Thailand is a very good example of this. Now, this is Thailand's current account balance versus Malaysia's current account balance, which so far has always been positive. Now, fourth, interest rates. A rise in interest rates in a country can offer investors a higher guaranteed rate of return. As a result, the currency can appreciate relative to other countries. USD in 2022-2023 is a great example, but the collateral damage is that its citizens need to pay higher loan installments. Who controls interest rates? Central banks. So guess whose fault is it again? The most sinister of them all is perhaps the fifth one, which is government intervention. Now, this method means central banks can influence exchange rates by buying or selling domestic currency to achieve the effect that they want. Why in the right mind government wants to do this? Well, such move is done intentionally to cope with negative economic impact, like due to a war. This can also be done purposely to make a country's export cheaper in the global markets. China is one that manipulates its own renminbi by selling its own Chinese yuan and buying tons of US dollars. In Malaysia, back in 2016, Bank Negara intervened by mandating that local exporters must convert 75% of the revenue generated from exports into ringgit, and only able to keep 25% is allowed to be retained in foreign currency. So now you know, everything revolves around centralized government control. And why governments are not in favor in decentralized digital currencies like crypto, even to the extent wanting to ban them and replace it with their own central bank digital currency. I'd like to hear from you what you agree or disagree with me in this sharing. Subscribe if you have not already. Here's the next video you will definitely love.